Okay, can you read this thing for me? Namo fundamental teacher Sakyamuni Buddha. Oh, I cannot hear you. Okay, go ahead.
Namo Banda fundamental teacher Sakyu Muna Buddha. Namu fundamental teacher Sakyu Muna Buddha. Namu fundamental teacher Sakyu Muna Buddha.
Okay, good. Namo fundamental teacher Sakyamuni Buddha. Okay, that's good. Can you read the English one for me?
The unsurpassed, deep, profound subtitle, wonderful Dharma. In 100,000 million eons, it's difficult to encounter. Hold on. Now that I've come to receive and hold it within my sight and hearing, I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual meaning.
Okay, good. That's good. Okay. Can you summarize what we learned last time? Do you remember?
Time we didn't learn that much because your internet, but the week before that, we learned or we watched a video about the Buddha coming to the three brothers schools.
Yeah, three brothers. How many disciples together do they have?
Thousand. One
A
brother
thousand.
had
Okay, 1,000.
400, I think. The other one had 300, and the other had 200.
Okay. Can you stay near so I can hear you better? Somehow you move out and in. Yeah, now better. Okay.
Okay.
So what did they do? The three brothers, what did they do?
Taught their students about uh, how to get the teachings like from Buddha to enlighten themselves.
No, no,
But what
before the Buddha came, what did they do? What kind of practice they do?
um,
They worship what?
they worship Buddha,
No, they worship fire, right?
fire.
Yeah, they worship fire. Remember? And they have the swing, so the firehouse where they can worship the fire. Remember? And they are in there. They have the servant king, right? It's very so they scared. They dare not to go in. Remember?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then the Buddha came in and asked to stay at the serpent's king uh, palace, and one of the brothers advised him that it's not safe and he'll probably die in the next morning, but he still allowed it.
Mm.
So, in the next day or the next morning, the brother um, um, went to the Serpent King's palace and thought that the Buddha, or he doesn't know it's the Buddha, but he thought the Buddha was dead. And when he went inside, he saw that the Serpent King was contained in a small container and has been transformed into like a tiny serpent.
Mm.
But the Buddha wasn't there. Later, there was a heavy rainstorm, and the brothers thought the Buddha had washed away. And when they found the Buddha, he had like um, made like a force field or something to protect them from the rain,
Mm.
which was odd. And then after one of the brothers and the Buddha had a talk, and the Buddha asked why he tricked his students, that he's enlightened one and that he knows all. The brother uh, forgives himself, and then he realizes that the Buddha is the Buddha and he is enlightened. So later, in the story, the other brother that lives down the river with his school, um, he found one of the relics from the other school and thought that something happened to his other brothers. So he went to his other brother's schools and found out that the Buddha has taken all uh, their students and the brothers and made a school or teaching for them to how to be enlightened, and that's where it ended.
Okay, so basically, the three brothers and the 1,000 disciples, they basically they worship the fire for the entire life, and that means they make sure that the fire never go out. They always make sure the fire always on all the time because they think that the fire is the most important element in life. Without fire, we cannot live. That's what they think. So therefore, they worship the fire, and each time when they witness the Buddha perform the spiritual power, what did he say?
Um, he's not as strong as me because he thinks that he's the enlightened one.
Arahat. He think that he Arahat, but the Buddha is not Arahat yet, right? That's what he said. But at the okay, on the fourth time, the Buddha said to him, "Why your practice is not lead you Arahat? Why you still thinking that you are Arahat?" If and then the Buddha said that if you give up your view and you follow my teaching, not too long you will truly become Arahat, right? Arahat, it means that end all the suffering, no more birth and no more death and rebirth cycle. That means they are truly free from it and truly happy. Okay. Because the fire, when he worshipped the fire, fire doesn't help him to liberate. Do you think fire can help us to liberate from suffering? No. Okay. You can stay near. Oh, I could not hear you well. No, right?
No. Yeah.
Yeah. Fire cannot help us to liberate from our suffering, and of course, fire cannot help us anything, right? But they have a misconception that they think the fire can help them to liberate from the suffering. No, that is not true. Therefore, Buddha there he teach him about the Dharma, and here I will show you the Dharma that the Buddha teach them, and we will learn. I think it's we already go through this. You understand this one, right? The five sense. And this is the mind, the brain right here. The the eye when we see the flower, or the ear when we listen to the music, the nose when we smell something, all those things we call contact, right? The external object. So when it's contact, that means the mind will pay attention to it. And that's how they get well, the the eye concentrated just like the camera. It will a picture of the flower or whatever the object we see. It will send that to the mind and load into the short-term memory. And the mana, that means this one is it's about the cell. Okay, I will wrap the data from the short-term memory, and it will mana. That means the cell, the I, the me, the mind, right? That means everything comes from here. I want to know the detail of that object and where they will get the detail from the alaya. That means this one will communicate with this one, and this one will search for it, and the result come back and give to this, and the result will be compared. That means mana will compare the result with the initial data come in, and this is where the emotion come in, right? That important. So the result when we have the result, The result will give back to the mind. The mind will load the result in here. Therefore, we have perception, idea, and thought. All those things come from the result. Does it make sense to you? Okay. And also the decision making, that means the great good karma, bad karma come from the result. Okay. We already learned about this. Okay. Okay, the manna, we know that is the seven consciousness, right? It also have the cell, it means this four cell right here. Also have the emotional affliction, right? That is another name of the manna. So there are three names: mana, cell, emotional affliction. Cell, that means I, me. Okay. What do we mean by me? That means self-delusion. That means self-ignorance. The body, is that permanent or impermanent? Impermanent, okay. The mind also impermanent, right? But we do not see that impermanent, but we thought that it's permanent. That's why we holding on our body and the mind. Therefore, we call self-delusion. Does that make sense? So when the body change, we suffer. When the mind change, we suffer. Okay? So the self also have self-view, self-pride, and self-love. I think we already learned about this. Okay, go ahead and read this one for me.
Our body and our mind change, or constantly change. The body goes through birth, sickness, aging, and death. Also, the changes of the mind could be our thinking and emotions. Those kinds of changes are called impermanent. Therefore, there is no real self in our body and mind. If our body or mind is real self, it should not go through birth, sickness, aging, and death. But that's not the case. Can we say our feeling is me, or can we say our knowledge is me? Of course not. When we understand the impermanence of the body and the mind, we will have the benefits. Number one, value our body and mind for the benefits of others, such as doing good deeds towards others. We will not let our bad thoughts, such as greed, hatred, ignorance, doing harm to others, which will lead us to suffering in the future. Number two, try to be mindful on every one of our actions. When our body and mind are impermanent, but we don't see it as impermanence, is called ignorance or delusion. The same things are true for non-living beings such as trees, house, cars, tables, and etc. All those living things are too impermanent. Everything must also go through four stages: creating, staying, deteriorating, and destroying. A table is labeled as a table, but when we take out the four legs of the table, can it still be called a table? Of course not. None of the table's parts individually called a table. Therefore, there's no really self in the table. For example, in our birthday, we just received a beautiful necklace gift from one of our best friends, and we love it very much. However, we accidentally broke it, and we are so miserable. Why was that? We did not see it as impermanent. If we had realized the truth of the impermanence, we wouldn't have suffered that much. It is okay to feel sad a little. Thus, the Buddha said, everything is a no self.
Does that make sense to you?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Good.
We always hold on our view, our knowledge, our understanding, and etc., and do not easily accept other views. If someone has a difficult or if someone has a different view than us, then we will oppose or have a strong disagree which could lead to argument and violence because we could think, this is my knowledge, these are my ideas, this is my design. A friendship could turn into enemy. Peace could turn into violence or war. All those things could happen because of the mine or my. Whoever has this kind of mindset that he or she would not be able to learn from others, this makes him or her ignorance or stupidity. For example, I have spent so much time to research and work on this math problem, and I think I found the method to solve the problem. This method must be correct. However, we are willing to open our minds and embrace others' views. This would encourage us to associate with the wise and stay away from the fool.
Anh Hoàng, background nó hơi nói nha, a little bit noise.
Nói hết không?
Okay, keep background đó, đừng cho nó noise quá ha. Okay.
Không nghe Long. Nói sao Long? Ồn hả?
Anh để cái background nó ồn quá nha.
Ồn.
Anh giữ ok. Nó đang học á, đừng ồn quá, nó học không có được á. Ok, rồi thank you anh. Okay, go ahead and okay. Okay, that's good. So this is the self view, right? So if we holding the view or the knowledge, the idea, this is my idea, this is my knowledge, this is my design, and all those things, if we hold it and we're not willing to change, this is called the self view. Does it make sense? What happened if you and your friend working on the project, right? And you have your idea, and your friend have a different idea, and you two won't not flexible to change. What happened? Okay, no. Can you talk near? I cannot hear you well.
It will cause arguments and hatred.
Argument. It will cause you argument, right? And what happened? You will not work together, right?
Yeah.
So that's not good, right? So we have to, in order to remove the self-will, what should we do?
We need to open up your mind to other possibilities, and say to yourself that your way is not always the right way.
Wow, that's good. That's good. Always open our mind, right? Willing to learn from others. Don't think that our idea is the best. Don't ever think that. Because our idea may be good for ourselves, but might not good for others. Right? That's good. What about how do you remove the self-delusion?
By saying that everything is not permanent and one day everything will go away. So you need to cherish it and not be sad if it dies, and just like be happy of what it did.
And also, even though, yes, yeah, that's correct, but you also use that to do the good thing, right? Don't waste it, right? Our body, we use our body, even though it's impermanent, but we use our body to do good things to help others as well as help ourselves. That means it become a meaningful life, right? Otherwise, we will not have a meaningful life, right? Does it make sense? I could not hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Self-rise.
When we are so proud of ourselves, we cannot learn from others. Whoever says something that hurts our ego, then we get angry easily. In order to avoid suffering in the future, we should be always humble, and we can easily learn from the wise.
Good. Is that easy? Easy to become a humble?
It's not easy, but if you could accept the idea of self-pride, then it's easy.
Yeah, always try to lower ourselves, right? Don't think that Don't think that we are the center of the world. Don't think that we are the center of the universe or the country or the school or whatever, right? Just try to lower ourselves. But so therefore we be able to learn from other. Or if someone says something that hurt our feeling, we will not accept easily, and we will not get angry easily. Yeah, you see. You see all these things here, the self delusion, self view, self pride, all these things here, if we don't know how to handle it, we will suffer the most. Does that make sense? Mm. What about self love?
Whatever we love, such as family, a house, a car, or etc. This is called self-love. This is a conditional love. For example, it's easy for us to love our family, but to a stranger, we cannot be able to do so. When our loved ones depart us, we will suffer so much. However, when we have loving kindness heart to everyone, including our family, we will always appreciate what we have and always take a good care of them. When our loved ones depart, we would not be suffered that much.
Does that make sense to you? Right? It's not only for the people, but also for the thing. But for example, the house, the car, all those things, right? The phone or whatever, right? We value what we have, but we do not hold on to it too much. Okay, uh, is that a good thing that we always need to have the latest iPhone?
Now, just appreciate what we have.
Okay.
Take care of it.
What iPhone do you have?
The 11.
11. Are you looking for the 12?
No, I didn't want it.
Okay, good. Don't. Okay, when we want something, iPhone, who will pay for it?
Mm-hmm.
Who will?
Us,
Huh?
us.
No, you are still young. How do you get money to pay for it?
I have job.
You have job. Where you work?
My dad's store.
Your dad's store. Okay. But even though you have money, but should you wasting the money on the thing that you don't have to have the latest one, right? For example, as
Mm-hmm.
long as you have it, you can use it. It's good enough, right? You don't have to compete with others to have the latest one. Does it make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Because the more you asking, okay, you know the difference between the one and the need?
Um, yeah,
What the difference?
wanting something is just the thought of wanting it or uh to I don't know how to say it without using the word want. Um to to have the idea to have something but you don't need it and you'll be fine if you don't have it. The need is when you absolutely uh want to have something and you can't live without it.
Okay. Can you give me an example?
Like if you had an iPhone 6 and you uh, wanted the iPhone 11 but you couldn't afford it, you'll be all right and that won't hurt you that much. But the need is you when your mind goes into this thought process where you say to yourself that you can live without it and you want it so bad um that you'll do anything
Okay. Okay.
and that it will hurt you.
Let me define the one and the need. The one that means it's let's say that the iPhone, right? I have iPhone 6, right? For example, actually I have iPhone 5s, 5s. I don't need to have the iPhone 7 or 8 or 9, 10 or whatever. I don't want to because I I the phone is need for me to communicate, right? That's all I need. As long as the phone works for me to call you or call anyone else, as long as it works, it doesn't matter 5S or 11. As long my 5S works, I don't want to have a new phone, right? Because the 5 is good for my need. Does that make sense? But if I want to have a iPhone 11 or 12, even though I have a 5S, that means one and need. Which one is called desire?
Desire is want.
Yeah, the one. Because what happened if you desire to have this one, but you cannot get it? What happened?
It's okay. And
No, you suffer, right? Because when you want it, but you cannot get it, you suffer. Does that make sense? But when you have the phone already, 5S, that's all you need. And you don't have to have, you don't have to have another one. That means you don't want to, that means you will not suffer. Does it make sense? When you have, let's say I have phone 5S, that's all I need. And then I don't want to have any newer phone, then that means I'm not suffer. But if I want to have a new phone, if I cannot get it, I will suffer. And you know what? Let's say that I work only $5. Let's say in a week I make only $30, right, for my work, or $40. But if I want to buy the iPhone, then I have to pay $1,000. Does it make sense? And you know what? You have to work very hard to pay for those things for a while, right? To save that much in order to pay for it, and that means you make yourself to be suffer. Does that make sense? Mm. So you don't want to put yourself into the trouble. Later on, when you grow up, if you have money, you have when you buy new thing, right? You have to look at your budget. Don't buy thing that let's say that you have only $10 and you want to buy thing it cost about $9. No, don't do that because you will suffer. You have to work very hard to pay all those things. But what happens if you lose your job?
suffer.
You lose it, right? If let's say that you buy a house, right? You borrow the money from the bank, right? And you have to pay that monthly, and you own the bank a lot. What happens when we lose job and we cannot make up the payment in 3 months? You know what happened to the house?
Take it away.
They take away, and that means you lose everything, right? You lose all the money you put in, right?
Mm-hmm.
See, but when we buy the house that we only let's say that you own the bank with the first house, maybe the $300,000, and that means you have to pay it monthly very high. But if you buy the house and you only own the bank about maybe $100,000, and your monthly payment is very low, right? So which one will you have better life, and which one you have a more suffer life when you come to the situation is very difficult for you? For example, you lose your job. Which one will be better?
The one where you're renting it.
The one with the $100, the $1,000 you own the bank. That means the less you own the bank, the better you are. Does it make sense? Nicholas, does it make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you buy things, you have to do a lot of calculation. Okay, what happened if I lose my job, right? I have to be able to make my own payment without, maybe I have to be able to pay for a couple months before I can get a new job. So you have to think very thoroughly before you do buy anything. Okay? Even though our parents pay for it, is that a good thing that we always ask the parent to pay for whatever we want?
Yeah, that's what I always do when I buy something expensive or something like that. I
But
do a lot of research and see if it's the best price and if it's really what I want for me.
is that a good thing that if we want something that we don't have money, we ask for the parent to pay for it? Is that a good thing?
No, it will cause them to suffer if they are
They all,
financially.
yeah, they need to pay the rent, they need to pay everything, right? It's not easy for them to keep up the business, right? They suffer, and we also suffer too. And you know what? The more we spend on the thing that we want but not need, we waste our blessing. Does that make sense? Once we waste the blessing, then you know what? We become homeless. So we have to be very careful. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay. 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 So, okay, go ahead and read this one.
Thus I heard. On one occasion, the Blessed One was living in Gaia. At the Gaia Saja, together with 1,000 Bukas, there he addressed the Bukas. The Bukas, all is burning, and what is the all that is burning? The eye is burning, forms are burning, eye consciousness are burning, eye contact is burning. Also, whatever is full as pleasant or painful are neither painful nor pleasant. That arises with eye contact for is dispensable condition that is too burning. Burning with what? Burning with the fire of lust, with the fire of hate, with the fire of delusion. I say it is burning with birth, aging, and death, with sorrows and lamentations, with pains, with grief, and with despairs. The ear is burning, sounds are burning. The nose is burning, odors are burning. The tongue is burning, flavors are burning. The body is burning, tangibles are burning. The
Okay,
mind is burning.
okay, stop right here. Stop right here. Now, so what are the burning, right? So what do you think? The eye is burning, the form are burning. What do you think? The eye consciousness is burning. What do you think about this?
Whenever we use one of our senses, it is burning because we're using it up and it's not impermanent.
Okay. Can you give me an example? When we sit at the computer, we spend time a lot of time on the computer. The eye is burning. What does that mean?
That our eyes are processing all the information and slowly it's going to deteriorate like anything else would in the world.
That means the eye, because we use the energy to see, right? And that means all your energy is burning, right? From the eye. And the form are burning, that means the visual object. In this case, when we look at the screen all the time, so the screen is the form. Does that make sense? Burning. What do you think about that? Why the form is burning? I could not hear you, go.
Green is making us burn because it expels energy and we use the energy from our eyes and the eye makes energy too.
Yeah, that's right. So the form make us use a lot of energy, right? What about the eye content? That's the same thing. We have to use a lot of energy. So it's basically all those things is burning. Eye contact, that means the eye see the screen. It's called eye contact. It's also burning. You see, whatever we look, whatever we do, we will burning. And when it's burning, what happened? So we will also, when the contact, right? Therefore, we have feeling, remember? And the
hả
feeling can the feeling can be pleasant, painful, neither painful nor pleasant. You see that? That arrive with the eye contact, and it's the indispensable condition. So when the eye sees something, right, we call the eye contact. Due to the contact, the mind will pay attention to the object. Remember that? Here, I show you here. Where are you? Okay, here. So when the eye, when we look at the screen, right, of the computer, the eye contact the screen, the mind will automatically pay attention to the screen. Therefore, that means the eye is burning. That's correct. The the form, that means the screen is burning because it uses our energy. The eye contact, that means the eye contact the screen is also using energy to do the contact. The mind constantly pay attention to it. Therefore, the feeling arise. You see that? The feeling arise. In this case, it can be pleasant, painful, neither pleasant nor painful. That are the three types of feeling. You see? That also burning. The feeling is burning because it's waste of our energy. Does that make sense so far? Okay, yep, that's good. Okay, where I am, let me see. Okay, so that's good. So, uh, burning with what? Burning with the fire of lust. Lust, that means the craving. Okay, burning with the fire of hate. That means with the anger. With the fire of delusion. This is what we call foolish. Okay, delusion. This means foolish or stupidity. So I say, is it burning with birth, aging, death, and sorrow, lamentation, with pain and grief and despair? You know why? Because when we, all these things here burning, that means birth is burning. Aging, that means we get older, right? It it deteriorate, it deteriorating, that means called aging. Death, that means we make our life short. Does it make sense? And sorrow, that means we suffer. With pain, with grief, that are. So this is what we, the Buddha said, that we have to be careful with our eye, our ear, our nose, our tongue, our body, and our mind. It's important. If we don't take a good care of it, we will destroy ourselves, right? I will, next time I will let you see the video. It's very important video. Today, I think the time is up. You have any question for me so far?
No, no questions.
But do you understand the today lesson? Okay, go on. One more thing. One more thing. Okay, would you please help me to read it? put our palm together ก่อน
May every living being, our minds as one and radiant with light, share the fruit of peace with hearts of goodness, luminous and bright. If people hear and see how hands and hearts can find in giving unity, may their minds awake to great compassion, wisdom, and to joy. May kindness define reward. May all who sorrow leave their grief and pain. May this boundless light break through the darkness of their endless night. Because our hearts are one, this world of pain turns into paradise. May all become compassionate and wise. May all become compassionate and wise.
Yeah, thank you ก็ thank you very much